Now, let's talk about life as a business owner. All right. Let's talk about starting your own business, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, being your own boss. All right. Let's start with the downside. Let's talk about the cons first. Okay. The first bad thing, the first con about being a business owner, about being your own boss is you might lose. Back in your life as a corporate citizen, okay? Let's say if you came up with one of these brilliant ideas that's brilliant to you, all right? And you present it to your boss, okay? And they agree, all right? And it's going to cost them $1 billion, all right? And then they went ahead with your idea, and your idea did not work out. They lost $1 billion. They lost $2 billion, all right? You got fired, or you don't get fired, okay? You will still get paid your salary during the time you're working on that money-losing project, that money-losing idea, okay? And then in the end, okay, quite often, you don't even get fired, all right? You just continue to work on your next idea for the corporation to help the bosses to get rich, all right? But now, okay, you're your own boss. And if one of your ideas don't work out, all right, you don't get paid. You lose, all right? And you lose your time, your effort, your energy, okay, and your investment. All right, you don't get profit, and you lose your investment. And that investment could be your own saving, all right, your family's saving, or you borrowed from your family members, or you borrowed from a bank, or you borrowed from some investors. All right, now you're on the hook because you lost. So the stake, okay, is with you. The buck stops with you. It may not be $1 billion. It might even be just $1,000. And you don't get paid, and you lose the investment. So that's downside number one with starting your own business. And this, whatever this idea, this deal that doesn't work out, it can be failure to get your business idea off the ground. All right, you run out of cash reserves. All right, you might have to shut down. This is called a failure to take off. That is, you run out of runways, so you crash and burn. All right, or this could be after you have already got your business off the ground, but you're working on a new deal. Okay, or a deal that's new to you, or the environment has changed, so the old deal is no longer going to work. The old idea is no longer going to work. So even for a established, existing business, a business that's already taken off, that's up there cruising, all right, a bad idea can still, okay, make you lose. Okay, so that's downside number one. You may lose. Okay, as a matter of fact, if you ask anybody and everybody who has ever had a business, no matter it was just one day and he failed, or some guy's been in business for 50 years and he had 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 businesses. Ask him, have you ever had a business failure? Have you ever lost money? What do you think he's going to say? If you ask someone who rides bicycles and ask him, have you ever fallen off a bicycle? If you ask a driver, have you ever had a fender bender? Have you ever had a close call? Have you ever, okay, what do you think the answer is? If you ask a seasoned medical doctor or a nurse, okay, who is seasoned, who has decades of experience, ask them, have you ever lost a patient? Okay, and there is plus side from this downside, which is the wisdom you gain from that experience. And then you build your maturity. Okay, you become wiser, you become smarter, and as a result, you are stronger. So that's the first downside, the first con of being your own business, being your own boss in your own business. The second con, okay, of being in business for yourself, being your own boss, is you are responsible for everything. Okay, your responsibility just all of a sudden became so much wider. Okay, in terms of the people that you have to take into your consideration, and also so much longer in terms of time duration, in terms of how long it's going to take for the result to start coming in, for you to get paid. Okay, an idea may get paid tomorrow, or you may not get paid for a year or 2 years until you're finally paid. And also, you're responsible for more than just yourself, just today, just what happens in your cubicle. Okay, you are responsible for so many more things. I once had a business, okay, with 7 employees, all right? I still remember to this day. Guess who was renovating the office on his hands and knees, okay? Installing a new floor, all right? Guess who was buying desks and assembling those desks and chairs? Guess who was installing all the telephones? Guess who was installing the office computer networks? Guess who was getting each computer ready for each new employee we hired? And guess who was doing the paperwork of their health insurance and running around trying to fix all the errors made by the health insurance company? Okay? And guess who was out there buying toilet papers? And guess who was cleaning the toilet? Okay? And guess who was doing all the accounting? Guess who was calculating all the commissions? Guess who was keeping an eye on the capital reserve? Okay? Guess who was chasing account payable? Okay? Customer who are not paying, who are delayed paying. Okay? Guess who was dealing with the alarm company, the trash service? All right? Guess who was dealing with the landlord? Okay? The office next door. Okay? And everything and everybody and everything that you are responsible for. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So this way, when I release new educational videos, you will be notified and you will be the first to learn. And also, make sure you send this video to as many people as possible so we can all learn and grow together and help each other to grow together. We're in this together. And if you need private coaching, business consulting, or training, feel free to contact me. And my contact details are linked below.